Hi, I'm Tim Bartz, Internet Sales Manager here at McArthur Ford in Salina, Kansas, your source for Ford news, update, and information, including your schedule information on a Tuesday. And we do have some good notes here for this week, and we're going to cover everything when it comes to scheduling. So if for those of you out there that have an order placed with your dealer, you have to get that order scheduled for a production date so then it can get produced and then shipped to your dealer and you take delivery. And so that is a process. And sometimes there's some notes in here that can help us figure out whether or not this is a week that you can get your order scheduled for production date. So we're going to dive in this. If you like videos like this, make sure you subscribe with the bell notification turned on so you don't miss any of these videos. All right, let's dive right in and get through this. First start talk about the terminology. So if you haven't watched one of the videos, please stay tuned and listen to this part. Now, first of all, the orders that you place, those orders are placed in what we call the order bank. That is where the dealer places all their stock and the retail orders. Now, a retail order, that's a customer placed order. That's your order. As a retail, that is a customer order there. Now, then there's also stock orders. Those are orders placed by the dealer for stock or lot inventory. And the reason why they would have those in there is because if they don't have enough retail orders, they still need some inventory. They still earn the allocations for sales they have. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. The priority code, that's the priority given to orders by the dealer. An 03 to 19 is a retail order type or order numbers, and 20 to 80 is stock. Now, the lower the better, so those numbers can be manipulated and moved down by the dealer. Default is 19 for retail and 80 for stock, and but they can be adjusted and moved. Now, scheduling, that's when Ford schedules an order for production dates in the future months, and those are the dates we're going to talk about each week. It's different. So it's always, for the most part, within a month, they'll schedule a couple months out from there. So now, production date, that's when your order is planned to be produced or be built. Now, allocations. Allocation is important. Ford gives allocations to schedule their orders. So a dealer needs an allocation to schedule an order in the order bank. And a dealer earns those allocations based on their sales of each model within their region. So I like to say that is the currency for getting an order scheduled. So if you don't have an allocation, you can't get an order scheduled. So it's kind of like you can't purchase, a candy bar if you don't have money. Same situation there. So a dealer needs those allocations. If they have too many orders, that lack of allocations could hinder how long it takes to get all the orders at the dealership scheduled. Now, constraints, that's an option that may be in short supply or take longer to build. And the capacity, that's the planned production rate of a given motor trim and option. And Ford will actually tell us in a lot of situations, this is how many we're going to produce of this particular engine or this particular configuration. Job 1 and 2, that's a production run within a model year. They split it into a couple different jobs so that if they want to introduce something or they can't start something up because of production or capacity or the availability of it at the beginning of the model year, they'll bring it in job 2 when they know they can get the supply for it to start building them. Balance out, that's the end of production or the balance out of a model year. Also can be a balance out of an option, which we've seen in some situations. All right. So with that in mind, let's dive in here and talk about first the 2025 model year Mustang. And the order banks are open up for the 25 model year right now. 26 model year ought to be opening up pretty soon. I thought it was supposed to happen today, but we did not see that open up today. They are scheduled this week for the production weeks of 8/4 through the weeks of 9/1. Main commitment, which means retail and stock scheduling will happen. Then let's see here. So they did remind dealers about these different package discounts for the EcoBoost motor. So that's something that, like to tell on dealers, don't forget about these. Here's a great way to save dealer some money if they want to match up like a polished wheel with the active exhaust or the bronze appearance package with the active exhaust. You get a package discount. They are needing some orders for the GT 400 401A. And looks like GT convertible as well. So orders but they need them with the optional wheel, 64M. That's the 20-inch by 9-inch premium paint aluminum wheel, or any other optional wheel set. So they're looking for something that's not the standard wheel. And then exhaust availability for the 64V wheel. That's a 19 by 8.5-inch shadow silver painted aluminum wheel, which is a standard wheel on the GT Premium. So that's why they need that optional wheel orders. Other than that, don't have anything else there. Let me pull up the capacities here because I did forget to do that here. Grab that real quick. Here we go. And we'll go through that as we do this. All right. So for the Mustang, there is only 325 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the Mustang right now. So, all right, moving on to the 25 model year Escape. Currently, only 390 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order bank is open for the 25 model year as well as the 26 model year just opened up yesterday. So you can order a 26 model year Escape. They are scheduled this week for 25 model year for the weeks of 8/4 through the weeks of 9/1. Main commitment, which means they're going to look at retail and stock scheduling. And this is the balance out of the 25 model year. So they're trying to wrap up those orders. And does say gas orders with the engine block heater will not be selected for scheduling. Don't forget that. And they are now scheduling for plug-in and hybrid. They were not doing that last week. So there you go. No other notes there on that. So, all right. Next up is the 25 model year Bronco Sport. There's currently only 51 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the Bronco Sport. The order banks are open up for the 25 model year. They are scheduled for the weeks of 7/21 through the weeks of 8/25. And again, retail and stock scheduling will happen. Orders with the engine block heater will not be selected for scheduling. And also it says for the 2.0 Bronco Sport orders, that's your Badlands, for faster scheduling, please consider removing the 425 50 state emissions. That is not required. If it's not required in your state, remove it. So don't forget about that. Just add that for the states that need it. Exhaust availability for the Big Bend trim as well as the Heritage trim, and very limited exhaust availability for the 17-inch Continental tire that's standard on the Big Bend and the Heritage, which is probably why those are exhausted. And then limited availability for the 1.5 liter engine. Now, limit is not as bad as like exhausted, so that's not as bad as you'd think. So 1.5 liter engine, also the 18-inch machine face aluminum ebony black painted wheel. I think that's the one on the black appearance package. That's wheel option 64M, as well as the tech package option 96X or 96T, depending on the trim level. Also, the power moonroof is also limited availability. The 50 state emissions we just talked about, as well as the convenience package 96P. Option. So there you go. So those are limitations there. So again, only 51 unscheduled retail orders, though we should be okay there. So, all right. Next up is the 25 model year Bronco. Order banks are open up for the Bronco right now. And they are scheduled this week for the weeks of 8. Oh, there's only 270 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank right now. And by the way, dealers, I don't know why, but there's 36 orders that are in Priority 99 right now. So, it's not a good thing. They are scheduled this week for the weeks of 8/4 through the weeks of 8/18. Retail and stock scheduling. This is job 1 balance out, it says here. We don't have any information on what job 2 looks like or any changes to job 2. I haven't seen anything yet. Hopefully we get some information in the new order guide soon for that. It says no scheduling for the Outer Banks with the Lux package and no scheduling for the Badlands with the Lux package. So if you have that configuration, sit tight for another week. Very limited exhaust availability for the base series, the Big Bend series, the Heritage edition, the Strop edition, and then also the 17-inch black high gloss paint aluminum wheel that's standard on the Raptor. So with that in mind, what are they scheduling? I don't know. Anyway, guess you have to figure that out. But there you go. I know they scheduled most of the retail orders last week that they could. So this week's probably going to be mainly stock scheduling around that. So, all right. Next up is the 25 model year Mustang Mach-E. There's only 151 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. The order banks are open up. They're doing main commitment scheduling this week for the weeks of 8/4 through the weeks of 8/25. No notes in there, no limitations. That's always good to see there. So next up is the 25 model year Explorer. The order banks are open up for the 25 model year. And it does say in here that the order banks are going to open up 6/24, which is next week for the 26 model year. That was supposed to happen this week. Again, those are always tentative dates when we do get those. Looks like it's going to happen next week. So those of you who've been waiting for that, hold one more week. They are scheduled this week. Main commitment for retail in stock for the weeks of 8/4 through the weeks of 9/15. They're doing 6 weeks of scheduling there for 25 model year balance out. Very limited exhaust availability for the 3.0 EcoBoost engine. That's standard on the ST and optional on the Platinum. Also, the ST series is very limited because of that engine, right? Also, the 20-inch luster nickel painted aluminum wheel that's standard on the Platinum and optional on the Active is also very limited exhausted, as well as the 99H plus the all-wheel drive with the 2.3 liter engine. So that's something else to note as well. So other than that, there's only 243 unscheduled retail orders in order bank for the Explorer right now. So there you go. There's that. All right. Next up is a 25 model year Expedition. Order banks are open up for those. There's currently 1,907 unscheduled retail orders in order bank. They didn't schedule last week, but they are scheduled this week for the weeks of 8/4 through the weeks of 9/15, which is unusual for them to do that. 6 weeks. Says no scheduling, not available for ordering is the 24-inch tarnished dark wheel. We talked about that last week. Platinum Ultimate package is not being produced right now. Scheduled ones are getting pushed, as well as they will not schedule any with that. So if you're wanting that, you're going to have to tell your customers to switch that off of that. But it's telling me, since they're scheduling for 6 weeks of scheduling, that this might be the end of job one. They didn't say that in here, but that usually when you see that where they go into one, they want to get done with that and move on. And that gives them more time to start getting ready for like job two order banks and the guides and everything. So that could be a clue to that. So we'll just have to hold tight until we get notice on that for sure. All right. Next up is a 25 model year Maverick. Order banks are open up for the Maverick. They are scheduled this week. Main commitment, that means retail in stock for the weeks of 7/21 to the weeks of 8/25. And it does say in here, orders with the engine block heater will not be selected for scheduling. And also, don't forget on the Maverick EcoBoost orders, if you do not need the 425 option, don't put it on there. So that means if you're not in one of those carb states, don't add it to your order because that's a limited availability for that. So they want to give those to those dealers that are in those states that need it. Exhaust availability for the engine block heater, we talked about that. Also, the hybrid engine is exhaust availability. Front wheel drive as well, which is only available in hybrid. The Lariat version says all 3 different configurations there. The trimmer as well. And then it says very limited exhaust availability for the XL and the black appearance package, as well as the 17-inch Continental tire that's standard on the XL. Thought that was also standard on XLT, but it doesn't mention that. So there you go. So they did most of their scheduling last week. Like we had all of our 29 allocations used last week. So most dealers got scheduled. There's only 636 unscheduled retail orders in order bank right now for the Maverick. It's sitting in pretty good shape right there. Not too many unscheduled orders. So there you go. All right. Next up is the 25 model year Ranger. The order banks are open up. There's currently only 147 unscheduled retail orders in order bank. And that is not counting Raptor. Note that. They are scheduled this week for the weeks of 8/4 to the weeks of 8/18 for retail in stock. This is job 1 balance out. So they're finishing that out. We did talk about some job 2 changes, I think, last week or the week before. Very limited scheduling due to job 1 balance out. Unfulfilled allocations will roll forward to job 2 conversion. It does say that it does have notes in here. It doesn't say the limited, but I assume limited availability for the black appearance package, the tonneau pickup box cover hard folding, the Raptor exterior graphics, and the running boards black. So there's that. That's all the notes I have for that. All right, next up is the 25 model year Super Duty. The order banks are still opening up. They're still open. They were going to close this week, but now they're saying they're going to try to tentative close is for the is 6/23. So you have another week to get those orders in for 25 model year. Don't know if you need to. 26 model year is open right now. That's probably what you need to be ordering. There's currently 5,529 unscheduled retail orders in order bank. So since they are balancing out at the Kentucky truck plant, I probably, if you would be built there, I wouldn't worry about it. They are scheduled this week still for 25 model year. Kentucky for the week of 7/14, so they're not done with that week yet. And for Ohio for the weeks of 7/14 through the weeks of 8/11. All right. So it does say in here they need some orders for the F250 and F350 XL or XLT versions with a 7.3 gas for either the regular or super cab without the bucket seats. So they need the bench seat orders. Also, very limited exhaust availability for the 6.7 liter. It does say 4-valve diesel engine. I don't know if that's a high output. That's 99T engine code. I can't remember if that's a high output or not. I think that's a regular diesel. Also, the 6.8 liter gas engine is very limited exhausted, which is unusual to see. F450, typically see that Lariat version as well, and the 17-inch forged polished aluminum wheel with the bright hub cover and center ornaments. That's standard on that is wheel option 64J. That's standard on Lariat, King Ranch, and Platinum F350s, and optional on XL and XLT F350. Also, 64H wheel, which is a 17-inch forged polished aluminum wheel that's included on the F350 heavy-duty payload package. So that's the notes on that. All right, and then next up is the 25 model year F-150. Order banks are open up for those right now, and there's currently 5,185 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. There are 127 in Priority 99. So, and the reason those are in Priority 99 is because they have a certain wheel option. So we talked about that memo last week on our live stream, but don't forget about that. So that means they have the wheel that's not quite ready yet, so or not available right now. And you'll have to switch off and then take it out of Priority 99. So that's saying here they are scheduled for the weeks of 8/4 and the weeks of 8/18. Note, don't forget about the update to the XLT Lariat standard wheel as well as the STX wheel. So that's why those are Priority 99. Also in here, it says 25 model year F-150 Lobo street truck is here, and the order bank is open up for the Lobo version if you want to order one. Did a video on that last Friday. Check it out if you want to learn more about what's included in that and how to order one. It is based off the STX trim with a 5.0 liter V8 engine. So just be aware of that. Also 4x4 and Super Crew. Very limited exhaust availability for the heads-up display as well as the Tremor series, both 401 and 402A. Limited availability for the 20-inch gloss black wheel that's included in the STX black appearance package because everybody's flipping to that wheel, as well as a 20-inch gloss black painted aluminum wheel that's included on the XLT black appearance package. Again, same way with the XLT. We're having constraints with that. And then also limited availability for the 18-inch black painted aluminum wheel that's included in STX 201A. So again, because of that issue with that STX wheel and the XLT, it's causing the other wheels that people have to switch to be a limited availability right now. Just what it is, right? All right, and then next up, 25 model year F-150 Lightning. Order banks are open up for those. They are scheduled this week for the week of 8/18. No restrictions there on any trim levels, which is awesome to see. And then lastly, it's a 25 model year Transit. The order banks are open up for those right now for the 25 model year and the 26 model year. They opened up yesterday, so you can order one or the other. They are scheduled this week for the 25 model year for the weeks of 7/14 to the weeks of 8/11. Does say late commitment Thursday for Transit will be postponed until Friday due to internal decision. And it does say great news this week, open capacity on all body types. So we restricted last week, and now it's open up for this week. So there you go. That's all the information I have for this week. So good luck to everybody get their orders scheduled for production dates. Let us know if you get scheduled. Let us know if you have any questions down in the comments. Thanks for watching this video. Come on out to our live stream if you're watching this live tonight, and we can answer your questions live if you'd like. Otherwise, drop them down below. We'll get those questions answered as quick as we can. So don't forget to make sure you're subscribed with the bell notification turned on so you don't miss any of these videos. And until next time, stay positive, be kind to one another, be kind to yourself, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.